All right, there we are. We are live. The camera's back a little bit. There we go. All right. Just setting us up for the video here. There we go. How's it going, guys? I'm starting to see people come on in here. It is a Saturday night. Tonight is another good night. Yep, we got your thumbs up. Got 3 people in here. Got a thumbs up. So I'll hopefully get those thumbs up there with the people that are coming in. That would be nice. So can everybody hear me all right? As usual, I want to make sure the video is good to go. Not much, Brent. Not much, man. So not much at all. So you guys hear me all right? No, it looks like some people are talking right now. So I'm assuming. Okay, good. Got a thumbs up. All right, you guys can hear me all right. All right. So we're gonna get to the video. So how was everyone's weekend? I hope you guys had a good weekend. I actually went out fishing this morning with my daughter. Didn't catch anything, but it was a nice little fishing trip that we went on. Let me adjust the camera here. There we go. I always got to get it set up right. It's kind of funny when I do these videos. 5x5. There you go. What up? What up? Not much. Not much. It's funny because when I do the videos down here, when you do a live video, the actual camera setup is like different, the way how it zooms and stuff like that. So I'm like, I got to get it set up where I can have my backdrop and all the other good stuff that I like having in there. So we are good right now. You're at work. Oh, that sucks, man. It's for Saturday. So, yeah, I didn't do. I actually went fishing with my daughter this weekend. We went over to the Connecticut River. They're starting school on Monday, so we're kind of making letting the summer go out with a bang. I don't know if people call that. So we're going fishing today, and then she wants to go hiking tomorrow. So we're gonna take her out there if the weather's working with us. There we go. All right, we're all set there. So, but we went fishing in the Connecticut River. I was hoping for some either bass or pike or something like that, but we didn't really get much. It was, the current was strong, and we were doing pretty good. So, yeah, no luck, man. So, no luck. You never know. I don't know if you know anything. What's up? What's up, Arsenal? Good to see you. When it comes to the Connecticut River out here, it's kind of hit or miss. It's so massive, and it goes through all these states, all the way up to New Hampshire and whatnot. It's so massive, it's really hard to feel. It's tidal too, so you have to kind of go with the tide when it comes in. Usually, I'd like going kind of in between when it's coming in. High tide is either coming in or going out, and also it's kind of a cloudy day, so I like to jump on in the cloudy days. Because of my experience out there, I catch my most largemouth on those cloudy days. But we just took her out there. It was a decent, we had fun. They were out there for a few hours. Didn't catch a darn thing except some snags, but it was still a fun little time. So, geez, my daughter started in 8th grade on Monday. Geez, where are they going? All right, so we're going to get into this video. We got some people in here. We got 12 people, got 4 thumbs up. How about we get 4 thumbs up to match those 12 people? That'd be great. So, we have some questions and some comments I wanted to address. The last live video I had that we didn't have any of that, and before that we had Hurricane Henry, which turned into a tropical storm that was turned into a rainstorm. That was about it. And where I live, whenever the storms come, we always lose power. But I'm like, wow, we didn't lose power this time. It was just rainy. So anyway, so we have a few questions over here now. One of this person, what kind of sucks when you break a bolt pin and parts are back in the truck. Yeah, I hear you, man. That would kind of suck. So we have a couple questions that I'm going to be addressing tonight. More absolute, true is Brent, but I still like bringing those fish home. So what was it? Week and a half ago. It was last week. About 2 weeks ago. I caught 4 bass in a row, so 4 largemouth in a row. I'm like, hey, I'm doing good today, just on a good old power bait and Texas rig, but that's on my local lake that I go to, and I kind of know that thing inside and out. And I actually went with my dad. That was kind of a fun trip. Anyway, so we're gonna get into these questions and comments that I want to cover. So, okay, so the very first question that I was gonna bring up on here. So this guy actually asked a couple questions, and I think they're decent questions. So we're gonna get into it really quick here. So this is from Angry American. So he's angry, right? So a lot of us are angry these days, but this is from Angry American, and this was on my 1911s and how to properly use them video, right? So, and also if you guys haven't been in one of these chats, the way how this works is I answer questions from the past week. All right, and I'll be answering the questions. I'll give the answers here, and you guys are feel free to chime in or talk, have discussions, whatever it is, however you do it. And then when I'm done with these questions, we kind of open it up to an open discussion, and we just talk about whatever we want to talk about. So, but anyway, so we're going to start off with Angry American. Arr, right. So, what are your opinions of cross-draw holsters for 1911s? This is his first question. When it comes to cross-draw, I have never been a huge fan of cross draw. When it comes to concealed carry, I prefer concealed carry and cross draw. For me, some people might argue with it, but I've tried it when I first started carrying guns and stuff like that too. I went through a variety of stuff. All right, yeah, I'm glad it did, Brent. So I love my 1911s, but I tried cross draw for a while and it seemed like it worked pretty good. But the thing is to get a good solid cross draw holster, it's usually an outside the waistband holster, which usually means that you're going to have to put some sort of layer or cover garment over it, whether it's a jacket or a coat or something like that. And then if you're doing a full length 1911, even on a slight angle of a cross draw holster, it's kind of a pain in the butt. It's kind of a pain in the butt. They don't conceal very well. And the ones that I've seen, they bounce around, but that's the only ones I've had experience with. But when it comes to cross draw for a 1911, I've never been a fan of cross draw. The only type of cross draw, I guess you could say, isn't really cross draw. That I don't mind is shoulder holsters, because that's technically a cross draw, but not the cross draw everyone talking about. So basically, cross draw, when people like to reach it on the side, from when it comes to 1911, I'm not a huge fan of it if you're into concealed carry. If you're into concealed carry, that's how I carry. I'm a concealed carry guy, so I don't do cross draw because it just prints like crazy. It really does. So yeah, cross draw is great for like a chest rig if you're out fishing or something like that, and it depends on the areas that you're in and stuff like that too. You have to know your state and local laws when it comes down to all that stuff too. When you're carrying, that's basically open carry when you're out fishing and stuff like that. But yeah, I've seen those rigs; those are pretty good. But they're talking cross draw. They're talking, actual on the hip, on the waist, and cross draw holsters look a little bit different than your average holster. I don't, no, I don't think I have one. I did have one a little while ago, but that's my thoughts on cross draw. How's it going, Keith? That's what I plan on getting when I get 1911 shoulder holster. Good way to go, man. So that was his first question. That was Angry American's first question. And then the other question, what is your opinion of an inside or outside and waistband of a 1911 Commander size? They work. I mean, they work. I carry inside the waistband is what I carry all the time. 90% of the time I carry inside the waistband. Today I'm actually carrying outside the waistband because I was out fishing and I had my jacket on. So I just, well, not jacket, my big old vest on, and it was just a little more comfortable out there. But I usually, inside or outside the waistband is good to go, man. There's nothing wrong with it. And it doesn't matter what size it is, whether it's a commander size or full size or officer size when it comes to 1911. It works. I prefer my concealed carry. So like I said, I have outside my 1791 gun leather holster on actually right now. I've had that on all day, but basically I was out fishing with my big old vest on, so I wasn't too worried about printing or anything like that today. So that was his second question. All right. So now we're moving on to the next person. It's all about the holster and at least a 10% can't. Yep, absolutely. So now we're going to be going to Blake Turner. Blake Turner, this was on the Rock Island Armory M1911A1FS update. So that was my shooting video. I did it a couple of years ago when it came to my Rock Island Armory. A lot of people wanted to know what the update was, how it was holding out, if it was still functioning good, and to this day, it's still functioning great. And that was, I think that was my like 1,000 round break-in period, like celebration, if you will, to show people after 1,000 rounds the thing's still working just fine without any hiccups or anything like that. So that's what that video was. So you take a look. It's a shooting video. I do a couple of mag dumps at the end. I teach people that the best ways to, in my opinion, the best way to load 1911 and stuff like that too. But this was his question. All right, so how would you change sights? I thought they don't remove from GI 1911s. Now, when you're looking up, when most people think of a GI 1911, they're thinking a World War I, World War II 1911, which the sights were indeed fixed. But if you look at most holsters, you can talk to Arsenal on that, he'll tell you about it. So most holsters and stuff like that, when you're fitting a 1911, you usually fit a 1911 for either the 1911 with a rail or a 1911 government model or GI model. The government model, not the GI, so government model. Basically speaking, it's been around for a long time, well over 100 years now, and when it comes to the 1911s today, is a lot of the sights are actually dovetailed in. So usually the government model is based, every cut is basically almost identical to the government model, but the actual sights are dovetailed in. All right, so you could actually swap out the sights. That's what you can do. And if you don't know what dovetails on, all you got to do is look at the top of your gun. I can't bring a gun on a live video because that's like against fake, rules here on live videos. But when you look over the top of it, if you see a groove, like a gap where the sight sits in, that's dovetailed. Like me as a cross-eye dominant shooter, I have a tendency as right-handed shooter and cross-eye dominant shooter because I have to turn my head and look with the left eye. Then when I shoot, my rounds go off to the left, right? So what I usually have to do is I usually have to tap the rear sight right in the dovetail to try to line it up. But that's basically what dovetails are. So most 1911s today have the dovetail sights because over the years 1911s have become so customizable. Like you can customize just about anything when it comes to 1911. So I put orange tape at the end of it. There you go. You can customize when it comes to 1911s. They're so customizable. Pretty much every single one of them comes with interchangeable sights. Now there still are people that make the standard GI model, which is the standard. The sights actually milled into the, or I don't know if they milled it, but they're actually built into the receiver. There are still people that produce them, but most 1911s today, if you pull up a government model, it's going to have dovetail sights that are in there, right? So I hope that answers your question, Mr. Blake Turner, all right? So now we're moving on to the next question. Dominique Liuzzo, I'm probably butchered it. Dominique Liuzzo, okay, Liuzzo. All right, I'll let you guys figure that one out. So Dominique L, we'll call him DL. Okay, DL, so here it is. So this is a question he had for me. Hold on. No, this is actually a comment that he was having up. She was on that. Yep, exactly. They are, Brent. So this is actually based on the CCW full size. This is an older video that he commented on. CCW full size pistol versus compact pistol. So what I'm talking about in this video, if you go back and you look that one up, I'm basically talking kind of new shooters and showing them the difference between a full size pistol and a compact pistol and how to carry. If I remember, it was how to carry it in, or how to concealed carry it, because you can carry a full-size pistol and you can carry a compact pistol. Compacts conceal a little bit better depending on the holster and the size and the thickness of the actual gun itself, but you can conceal both a full-size and a compact pistol. But that video is specifically just teaching you the different sizes of the pistols when it comes to carry in general. So this is what he said in this. And it wasn't quite a question. It was more of a comment that I think it's a good thing that I could actually answer in this. So I don't know how people, yeah, I'm going to have to bleep it a little bit in the comment. I don't know how people can carry on the side like that. I must have huge woman hips. I have to carry appendix and put my little beep at jeopardy is basically what he says. All right, so we'll save that one there. I don't have a fancy button pusher, so I hope my beeping worked out for it. And put my beep at jeopardy is what he says. So basically what he's saying in this comment is he doesn't know how people can carry strong side because his hips are so big, is what he's saying, or he is what he thinks. How's it going, Ronald? Good to see you from Texas. His hips, he's saying in the comment that because of his hips, he has a hard time concealed carrying the actual pistol, so he has to carry an appendix. Now, the way how this works, all right, so first things first, not everyone's genetics are the same. Some people have bigger hip bones. If you're like me, you have a nice, high quality tactical muffin top, right? Very high quality. I've worked hard on that. So if you're like me, you have a tactical muffin top, so it makes it a little bit easier to conceal things on the side. But when it comes to strong side carry, there's a couple things that you take into consideration. So, and that's how I carry all the time. Oh yeah, absolutely. You have to wear skinny jeans. He probably does wear skinny jeans. That could be a problem. Don't get skinny jeans if you wear skinny jeans. I like stretchy pants jeans. Well, smart dad, but nothing wrong with that, Arsenal. Nothing wrong with that. I still like calling it the tactical muffin top. I think that's the best name for it, hands down, all the way, right? But anyway, so when you're carrying it on the strong side, like when I carry, I pretty much carry at the 3 o'clock position. And if you look at a clock, that's literally on my right side. I put it on my right side. But when I have it on my right side, I have a slightly canted holster. So it's got a slight tiny cant on it. And what I do is I shift it forward a little bit higher. So it's still pretty much a 3 o'clock, but it's a tiny bit closer to the 2 o'clock position. I'm not carrying up here. It's just a little farther forward is when I have it on my 3 o'clock. And when I carry it like that, my guns disappear. They disappear depending on the gun I'm using. That is the catch. Depending on the gun I'm using, and the holster plays a big deal with that. So if you have a good quality holster with a nice little hand on it, or a nice little cant on it, strong side, it will blend in very well if you don't wear skinny jeans and skinny shirts. All right. So you got to wear slightly looser fitting clothes. All right. So use a slightly looser fitting shirt, darker shirts. Even my Scooby Doo shirt right here. I got 3 kids. All of them like Scooby Doo. But basically, loose fitting dark shirts are the best thing to use for concealed carry. I still like my button ups, but it's summer. It's been hot lately, so I'm in t-shirts and shorts usually. Today I'm wearing my jeans because I was out fishing earlier today and my nose is all itchy. So try that when I carry at 3. Yeah, it all depends what it is, Ray. So sometimes you need to just make slight adjustments on your body just to make it work. Now, a big thing that helps out a lot when it comes to it is having a good carry belt. Okay, that means not a Walmart belt. That means an actual good quality carry belt. Do I have one down here? I do. If I don't knock my son's Paw Patrol fishing pole down here. So right here, this is just one of my carry belts. This is my standard Core Essentials belt. Basically right here, you hear it, it's got a clicky. It's really heavy duty. It will not collapse on itself. You have a good carry belt, you have a good holster, and you can pretty much conceal anything that you put on there. Basically, it prevents, if you have the straps or the, what do you call it, the lips or clips and stuff like that that actually the holster attached to the belt on, if you have it fitted correctly to the belt, which is usually 1.5 or 1.75, I believe it is, you quote me if I'm wrong there, is what happens is it won't be shifting around or sliding forward or backward or anything like that on that. And because of how thick they are, it won't be wobbling back and forth. Even inside the waistbands, they can have a tendency to go top heavy. So right there, they won't be wobbling around or anything like that on a good carry belt. So it's important to get a carry belt if you guys want to list Core Essentials. I'm a big fan of them. So if you have a good carry belt and a good holster, all right, basically if you have a really good holster on that whatsoever, the gun will not be shifting. It won't be shifting whatsoever, and it'll pretty much stay in the same spot that you want it to be. I'm doing good, George. Doing good, George. So when it comes to, hold on, get my notebook here, my handy dandy notebook here for all the parents out there, if you know what that is. But basically is when you're carrying strong side, when it comes to concealed carry, is you just need to make slight minor adjustments on your side to see if it'll work. So if you adjust it slightly forward or back, especially if you're like me, you have tactical muffin top, that tactical muffin top is a concealed carry layer. I'm telling you that right there. But anyway, so that just kind of helps you conceal it just a little bit better. Now, there are some people when they think you carry, they're like, oh, you carry strong side, but then I see them carrying it literally at the 5 o'clock position, kind of on their back. And in my experience is when you have it in the back like that, it's going to print a lot. Okay, it's going to print a lot, at least in my body, it prints a lot because the tactical muffin top for me pushes it out a little bit and it kind of sticks out a little bit farther. But if you put it more 3 o'clock, for me, 3 o'clock, and then slightly move it forward just to adjust it to your body, you won't have an issue when it comes down to that. If you want to carry appendix, go for it. I have nothing against appendix carry if you're doing it properly and you're doing it safe. So go for it. Go rock it if you can rock it. And don't wear skinny jeans when you're carrying a gun. There you go. That's very important. Rule number 1, don't wear skinny jeans. All right. So there you have it. So that's the answer for DL, as we're calling them. Dominic, DL. We're doing Dominic DL. DL. That works for me. So now the last question that I have on this. This is from my video, Semper Fi, Hoorah, Hooser. So the truth about firearms training. This is the video the recent video that I did on it. Someone had a question. Okay, good. I have it out. Someone had a question on this. Yeah, claw works good, especially for appendix carry. Is what claw is really good for. It kind of pulls the pistol grip back. I'm not a huge fan of the claw strong side, but I know some people do like them. I like pancake style holsters on my strong side. I do have some tacos I do for inside the waistband, but I prefer pancake inside the waistband. I think they conceal better. All right. So if you don't know what a pancake or taco is, a pancake holster is kind of spread out and there's usually 2 points of contact on the belt, whereas a taco holster is kind of put it in there and there's usually 1 clip on it. All right. So this question is from Christopher Richardson. All right. What are those things called that shoot the laser dot when you pull the trigger? I love to practice, but it's very expensive. I did buy an air pistol to practice with. So what they are is what I use in my training. I use laser trainers. I use laser trainers a lot. Now, air pistol or like get like some people will tell you to get like air pistol or an airsoft pistol or something like that because oh, it's almost identical, and that's what I hear people say. Me, when it comes to my concealed carry firearm, I'm going to be using. I want the exact firearm that I'll be using to train. So I use laser trainers. There's a lot of people that make laser trainers out there. Me, I use the Mantis ones because it's just they're really good laser trainers. I like them, right? And it comes kind of with like a full set and stuff like that. So basically, what they are, they're called laser bullets. That's what I've always called them, laser bullets. So I'll pull out. This one's 45. This one's 9 millimeter. All right, this is what they are right here. So this one's a 9 millimeter and this one's a 45. If you can't tell the difference, you need some glasses, right? So here you go. These are laser trainers. So the way how these things work, all right, is you actually slide them into the chamber of the gun, into the chamber. Make sure the gun's unloaded. Obviously, treat guns as if they're loaded, even if they ain't. You gotta make sure it's cleared and completely unloaded. Then you take this little guy and you shove it in the chamber. If you can tell, there's O-rings in it. So I don't know if you can see it in the adjust it on the camera. I don't know if it's doing, but you have an O-ring here and then you have an O-ring back here. You have the laser side, and then you have kind of like a rubber pad. And you see mine gets a lot of use. A nice little dot on there from my hammers. So basically what you do is you shove that into the chamber, and because of these O-rings, they won't slide out of the chamber, so the extractor won't grab them or pull them out. The extractor just won't grab them. So they stay in the chamber. So what happens is when you pull the trigger, like I said, make sure that prior to putting this thing in, it's clear, loaded, or it's unloaded and clear, and make sure you follow the safety rules the best of your ability. So what you do right here is you put it in the chamber, and either hammer, striker, whatever type of gun you have, it actually goes down and hits this pad, and then you see it right there, boom, laser. Yeah, blind you guys for a minute. There you go. And it hits the laser. So no, the only catch with this is say you have like a striker fired gun. What you have to do after you use it and you hit it, you have to rack the slide again to get it back into action because obviously the trigger went down and there's no boom, there's no slide reset, so the trigger is still dead. So you have to rack it to get back into cycle and go out, get back into it. When you have like a 1911 or a double action pistol, what happens is you can just practice double action all the time if you have a double action pistol, or like a 1911, just cock the hammer again. All right, you can just cock the hammer again, you're good to go. But that's what those are. They're called, you can either look them up for either laser trainers. Watch the laser on the cam. Yeah, you guys blind now? No. So basically what you could do is you could either look up laser trainers or pistol laser trainers. They have rifle laser trainers out there. Or you can look up laser bullet. That's a use. Me, I like Mantis. There's a lot of people that make them in general, but that's what they are. And I use them a lot. And you just have standard targets. I have just regular targets laying around. And when I got I believe it, man. I can see it. So like I have, when I got the Laser Academy, when I got that through Mantis, is basically it came with all these targets and all these stuff that I did a video on that if you guys want to go back and take a look at. And basically what it allows me to do is I can set up the target, but it also comes with an app that you can actually download and actually records what you're doing. So that's one of my, when it comes to training, especially dry fire practice, I think the most important part when it comes down to it is having that feedback, right? If you don't have the feedback, same thing in a range, you need to have that feedback. If you don't know what you're hitting at or you don't know what you're screwing up, then you're going to have a hard time shooting. Like something like this, the Mantis, for example, when you have that, you set it up on the app, you set up a laser trainer in there, you set up your phone or iPad, however you want it, or your little tablet or something like that. You have the app downloaded, it's usually a free app. You put it on the actual target, it kind of what do you call it, zeroes the target to the actual camera, and then we shoot when it hits the actual target, the laser hits the target, it records it on the phone, and it can keep you up to date. So you could do training, there's drills that are in there, so you could do drills on them and shoot and stuff like that too. But what it does is it gives you that immediate feedback, and feedback does a couple things. One, it makes it not as boring. It makes dry fire practice not as boring. So you have that feedback. You don't even need targets. Like literally, it's like my Suicide Charlie sign here. I'll use the skull sometimes. Like I'll pick out tool handles. I find the smallest things that I can see, and I need prescription glasses most of the time. I find the smallest darn things. I'll go to Elvis's eyes here. I'll go Elvis's eyes. I'll go to Glock. I'll just go to anything that's tiny, and I just work it in and out of the holster, and I'm using that laser training, trying to get the focus on it. And so usually I've been doing it for so long that I'm a lot better when it comes to shooting, and I usually hit those things that I'm aiming at. So laser, having that feedback is absolutely a must when it comes to dry fire practice. You could sit there and click the trigger all day long, but if you don't know if you're jerking the trigger or something like that because you don't have the feedback, then you're going to take those same bad habits. You're going to take them out to the range, and guess what's going to happen? You're going to be hooking the trigger out the range, and the rounds are going to, if you're right-handed, the rounds are going to be going low to the left, and if you're left-handed, they're going to be low to the right because you're hooking the trigger. So when you have that feedback, it actually kind of narrows it down to the training and makes it help, or it helps. So I said feedback, feedback, feedback. You need it for dry fire training. You absolutely do. There's laser trainers out there. Some people like airsoft pistols, but like I said, is airsoft pistols. Some people say, oh, they're absolutely identical to modern guns. I don't know about that, but I'd rather use the actual gun that I will be carrying because I have the actual sights that I'll be using, and I want everything set up. Like when I get new sights or I install new sights, what I do with that laser trainer is if I didn't go to the range at first, if I bring it home and stuff like that too, what I will literally do is I'll set up the laser trainer and it, set up the target, set up one of my apps or whatever it is, and see where I'm shooting. And then where I'm shooting compared to laser, I'll make adjustments on my sights then, wherever I got dovetail sights over, which I usually have to do. And then after I do the dovetailing, and then I'll take it out to the range, and I usually have to make minor adjustments because that laser trainer helps. When we're in the military, for example, in the Marine Corps, we would do, it's called bore sighting. I don't know, some of you in here probably know what bore sighting is. Basically, you set up a device to the actual rifle that you're in or something like that. And basically, it's pretty much like a laser system. And that's how you set up your sights. Having laser trainer is the same way. So those questions are going on very long. But right now, like seriously, right now, it's like ammo is hard to come across. Even out here, I know it's still really hard to come across. So dry fire practice has taken up a huge portion of my training time because it's a lot cheaper. I mean, initially when you got to buy the stuff, you get the laser trainers or a system like that, it costs some money, so it's going to cost money to do it. But in the long run, it saves money because I don't have to keep going out and buying a box of 25 round jacketed hollow point because that's all available, and they're all $40 each, which is ridiculous. So don't even get me started. I went out one day to what was it, Cabela's. I got 3 boxes of which it was Federal. Federal 124 plus P was the only 9mm they had. Federal 124 plus P jacketed hollow points. I got 3 boxes and it cost me over $100. I was just like, oh my God. So it saves you money. Laser trainers save you money. If you have that immediate feedback, you'll be able to do stuff. Bore sighting before lasers? Cheater. No, bore sighting wasn't before lasers. I think it was. It's kind of like a laser, right? So there you have it. Well, you have bore sight. You have, okay, so there's different types of bore sighting. I got to go back now they brought that up. When we were at the gun shop is what we used to do sometimes, like someone's rifle or something like that. Basically is like an old technique is you basically pull out the bolt of like a bolt action rifle and you aim up the sights the best of your ability and you look down the hole and you're trying to see the target and you're looking through the chamber and you're trying to see the target. And that's the old school version of bore sighting. But nowadays we have devices that you put in there or attached to the actual barrel that actually help a lot better. So, but that's that answer on that. That's what those are, laser trainers and stuff like that. All right, so I went on and on about the laser trainers. Get them if you don't have them; they're great to have. So we're done with the questions for tonight. So the floor is opened up, the chat is opened up, however you want to say it. So if you guys have any questions, just want to chat, want to hang out, whatever it is, talk about fishing, Bigfoot, deer, whatever the heck you want to talk about, we are right here, right now. So go ahead and start talking, y'all. Right? Yep, I'm all join the club, man. So it's sad. It's there's a reason you guys pretty much always see me wearing hats. All right, let's just say there's a reason, because the older and older I get, I don't know what's going on here, but it's not growing in up here anymore, and it's not growing in up here anymore, and it just doesn't grow over here, and everything in the back will grow, but it doesn't grow here. So yeah, I wear my hats. Yeah, I like my hats for a reason. It was funny as I was out there as with my youngest. No, it was my daughter. It was my daughter. He's a little turd. So we're out there fishing with my daughter. She's 13 now. Like I said, she's starting 8th grade on Monday. It's crazy. But we're out there fishing, and the son was, we're out there. Oh, no. It was my son. It was my middle son. It was Nathan. It was Nathan. He's my 9-year-old. So we were at Lake Compounds. Now getting a line for a roller coaster, in the line for the Boulder Dash, fun roller coaster. If you ever been to Lake Compounds out here, it is Boulder Dash is a great roller coaster. we're in the line for it, and he's down there now. 6.5 Creedmoor. I have not shot it, but I'll talk a little bit about it and my thoughts on it here in a minute. So I'm sitting there in the line, and he's looking up at me, and he's just like talking, and he's like, "Hey, Daddy." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "You got a lot more silver on your face now." I'm like, because now every time it comes in, I'm getting all these grays. So, so I feel like I'm old now. So, purchased my first shotgun, Beretta 1301. What kind of 12 gauge ammo will I use for range day to simulate home defense rounds? Thanks, man. Okay, so I'll talk about that real quick. Then I'm getting the 6.5. Well, depending on what you use for home defense, like me for home defense, I use double aught buck. That's my preferred my preferred cartridge. Do I have it? Is this double aught buck? I think this guy is it right here. I believe, yeah. This is double aught buck right here. This is double aught buck, so this has a total of 9 pellets in it. This right here is just like my target rounds. This is what when we had the ammo shortage, I picked this stuff up. This is just like heavy lead loads. This is like kind of heavy birds and stuff like that. That's kind of more of a survival type of thing. But this is right here. This is like, I believe it's Winchester Super X. Yeah, Winchester Super X. 12 gauge, double aught bucks, 9 pellets is what I use for home defense. So I'd recommend whatever round that you choose for home defense, you take it out to the range and shoot it, all right, to get a feel for it. But this is what I use for home defense. I use this. I use critical defense. Hornady critical defense is what I use as well. And I like my double aught buck. It's good to go. Yeah, it's really good to go. So some people like slugs, but I mean, slugs will drop down and drop a moose if you need to. Absolutely, they will drop a moose. But at the same time, if a slug will go through the walls of your house, even double aught buck will go through all the walls in the house. So just make sure that you know what the round is capable of, what the pellets are capable of, and whatnot when it comes down to it. So that's the answer. Now, my thoughts on 6.5 Creedmoor. All right. So I've never actually shot a 6.5 Creedmoor. I've never actually shot a 6.5 Creedmour, but I have been. I worked at a gun shop. This was a couple of years ago. That's when it started coming out, and it kind of took the shooting community, the shooting world by storm. Is the best way to explain it. And all these people were coming in talking about how they loved it and stuff like that. And then the owner of the gun shop actually went to a shot show, and he did a video, and they were on range day, and they were taking out there. He was shooting. He said he's never shot as far as he ever did, and that day, and he was using 6.5 Creedmoor. So what he explained it to me, and what he, a couple other people I've been looking into what 6.5 Creedmoor is. So 6.5 Creedmoor, it is it is a very flat flying fast projectile. Very flat flying fast projectile. Like a 308 wet scat. I don't know the specifics, so you can quote me on it. It's pretty much, it's almost like you would consider like a pistol, like a 357 SIG. So it's like a 357 SIG. If you don't know what it is a 40 caliber cartridge, neck down to a 9mm round. All right, and the same thing goes with 6.5 Creedmoor. I believe it's like a 308 cartridge. Quote me if I'm wrong because I don't know the exacts on it. So you guys probably know a whole lot more than that. And it's neck down to almost like I don't know if it's a 5.56 or whatever, or 6.5 or whatever it is, but it's a neck down round. Now, when you shoot from a firearm, when you shoot from a rifle, mainly when you're going long range, the round only goes straight from the barrel from the beginning. It only pretty much goes straight just for like the first like 25, if you're lucky. But what happens is it kind of goes upward and it arcs down onto the target. All right, that's how we were always taught in the Marine Corps. We had to qualify at 500. Hey, no problem, street player. So when I was in the Marine Corps, we had to qualify at 500 yards. Hand load, nice man. So we had to qualify at 500 yards. We didn't have optics at the time. For us, it was iron sights. Nowadays, they do it with freaking ACOGs, losers. But anyway, so we would do it with iron sights, and we have to do it 500 yards or 500 meters, I believe it was, when you shoot it. So we were always taught the round kind of comes up and goes down, so you make the adjustments to the sight that counters it. Now, what's unique about 6.5 Creedmoor is it's a flatter projectile, is what they said. And they said because of the flatter projectile and because of the speed of it, it can reach out and say hello very well. So there you go. So I hope that helps with it. So what shotgun round for self-defense do you recommend for someone who lives in an apartment? Honestly, when it comes to an apartment, I don't know who that is, but someone's Asian. Okay, someone's spamming that. Because one of those moderators take care of that, please? So yeah, that'd be nice if a moderator could take care of that. So basically speaking, I use for a house. Okay, for a house, depending on an apartment or whatever it is, I would stick with a pistol when it came down to that. The reason I say that, guys, is that it has a lot less penetration than a shotgun or a rifle. All right, it has a lot less penetration than a shotgun or a rifle. All right, So whereas a shotgun will go through all the walls, a rifle will go through walls. Now, if all you have in the house, all you have in the apartment is a shotgun, um, yeah, it's. I don't like saying use birdshot. I don't like saying use birdshot when it's pretty close. When someone's pretty close to the muzzle, it does some serious. It's that absolutely will. It works like a double up butt or anything like that. But the farther out it goes, it spreads out, and you could literally pepper them all over, and they might be out of the fight, but it's not going to stop them. All right, yeah, they may not stop them. So when it comes to shotgun for an apartment, it's kind of a tough call, man. It's on how your setup is and stuff like that too, what your plan is, and the backdrops and everything like that. Me, when it comes to shotgun, I pretty much use double aught buck, and this is just like my survival slash hunting type of rounds that I have out there. So crossbow pistol. Yeah, I don't know much about crossbows, man, but I know those things fly fast. I've seen crossbows go through deer. So I love watching hunting videos. So I'm not a hunter. It's one thing I want to get out and do. And I've seen crossbows just go straight through a deer, and that's just a standard crossbow. I'm like, holy crap, that's pretty fast. That's crazy, like rage arrows and stuff like that for like bows and stuff that too. So I don't know how that would work in it. I love a crossbow. I believe it, man. I've never used one before. So, but I hope that answers those questions for you, because when it comes to shotguns and apartment, that's kind of scary. That's kind of scary. Yep. No, now I know I'm thinking about it for a second. Is that whole that nice little spam that we had in there? Is I had an email. It's funny. Is like now that my channel's I'm over 25,000 subscribers, which is thanks to you guys, obviously, and thank to everyone that's in here in the chat, and thanks to everyone that's been with me since I've had this channel. Some of you have been with this. Some people have been with this channel since I had like 7 people in this channel. So you guys have been absolutely great, absolutely great. But I've been getting contacted by a lot more people that want me to either get sponsored or stuff like that, which is kind of nice. And basically, is I got an email the other day, and something was not right with this email. So it was something. It was a Lily something. I don't remember what the name was or something like that. And basically, is what she said in the email. She said in the email is I'm an honest gear, or I'm an honest gear something or whatever. And they say I'm an honest producer of gear or something like that. And I'm reaching out to YouTube channels to see if they can actually look, do reviews, do free reviews on my stuff. And it was obviously copied and paste, and there wasn't a whole lot. There wasn't like professional backdrop in it and stuff like that too. And it was like, I don't remember the exact name of it, but I looked up the name, and the email address that it was sent to had the name of their website, right? Their website. So I told him, I was like, I'm all for doing gear reviews and stuff like that too. But one, I want to make sure it's a legitimate company. So I'd like a link to your website. I'd like a link to your website so I could take a look at your products and see what you have. And, I like to see what the reviews are and stuff like that in the product. And they didn't get back to me. I'm like sitting there like, okay, they didn't get back to me. It takes a little bit to do that. So I looked them up, and their website does not exist. And then I looked up their specific name, and I looked up on Amazon and stuff like that too. And their name that popped up was a company based in Beijing. So, and then I replied back, I'm like, you know what? I'd rather stick to American companies out here, because that if you're a real honest YouTuber, I remember what I said. If you're real honest, gear, whatever you call it, I remember exactly how I said it. Then you would have given me the link, and it would be to a legitimate website, and the address wouldn't be in Beijing. So, but I was just like, oh, interesting. So I wonder if that was someone from that, right? Because they weren't too happy about that. Who knows? But you never know. I hate it when those spammers get in there. I love you moderators. You guys are great. So help out where you can. So if you ever have a YouTube channel, if anyone here ever decides to start a YouTube channel, you want to do live videos, you got to have moderators. For a while, I had no moderators when I started doing my live videos. And I did my live video a long time ago. You won't find them, because I pretty much deleted them all, because there was a gun. I always show guns in them and stuff like that too. And there's a lot of channels getting strikes because they showed guns in live videos at the time. So I just deleted all those videos. But I didn't have a moderator for a while, so it's kind of, it could be, sometimes I'm like, I see the spam, I'm like, hold on, let me, get in there and try to. So when I got a few moderators out there, if you decide to get a YouTube channel, make sure you have moderators, because when you're doing the chat and you want to talk to people and stuff like that too, it's nice for them to be able to go there and block out all those guys. So anyway, so any more questions, guys? We've been going on for almost 40 minutes here. So these videos are usually 40, 45 minutes, sometimes an hour, how it is. So if you have any last minute questions, you want to talk about whatever it is, so drop them now in the box, and we'll talk about them to the best of our ability. So, It's kind of nice out. I had my garage door opener, my garage door open and stuff like that. It was about 68 degrees this evening. I'm like, yeah, can't wait for the cooler temperature. Anyone know us out here we have different seasons. How can you help? How can I help with moderation? What I do is someone that I've known personally or that I've been in the channel that been with me for a long time or something like that. They used to show up in my live videos all the time. I would use them for a moderator, and basically is they have the administrative stuff to go out there. And like Arsenal, he'll see him. He's a great dude. He's a good friend of mine. So he made holsters for me. He makes good holsters in general. So go check him out if you're looking for holsters and stuff. He's a good dude. So he did it. Mateo, he comes in here every now and then. It's really good. Yeah, he's good too. So, but yeah, what was I was talking about? I'm all scatterbrained. Yeah, we have different seasons out here in Connecticut. Fashion seasons. Have you guys ever heard of the Han Solo season? The Han Solo season. That's what we like to call it out here. My friend came. I don't know where he got it, but it was hilarious. A guy I went to high school with. He did a post on it, and it was great. Oh yeah, the Han Solo season. Han Solo season is the fall when all the girls start going to get their pumpkin spice things, wearing their tall black boots, their tight pants, and their blue, vests for the fall, even when it's still like 80 degrees out. So we call it the Han Solo season because that's what they look like. They look like Han Solo. So I don't know if you guys heard, but it just look it up. Look up Han Solo season. Yeah, vests like winter vests and stuff like that. Yeah, it's out here in New England. Like I said, when fall come is even if it's still like 80 degrees, 70 degrees, it's not yet. You see all these girls out there with like these white shirts on or whatever long sleeve shirts on, and they have like their black vests on, fashion vests and stuff like that. I know, where is Chewy? And they all have long black boots, so we call it the Han Solo season. And I'm a Star Wars fan, so there you have it. So all right, so we're coming up on the Han Solo season here. So all the pumpkin spice stuff's coming out, and all the good lagers and stuff like that are coming out as well. So the Oktoberfest, and we're having a nice Apple Harvest Festival. I might be taking my kids to this year, so that usually comes in October. So we'll see how that goes. So, all right. So we have anything else you guys have questions about or whatever it is? Let's see. My truck was broken in a few weeks ago. It was locked, and the alarm didn't go off. A 40 Smith and Wesson was stolen. That is how they got into my truck without alarms going off. Well, it could have been accidentally unlocked. It could have been accidentally unlocked, or there are people that know how to hack into things. And if you have higher, I don't know if it works with trucks, but there are some ways I've looked it up that people can actually find your signals and actually get into your vehicles themselves. But one thing to do, I did a video on this: never store firearms in your vehicle. Just don't store firearms in a vehicle. Majority of black market firearms that criminals get a hold of come from vehicles. That's where they come from. All right. So me, I never store a gun in a vehicle. If the guns are on me, they're on me. Or if I need to go to a certain place or like drop my kids off at school, then they're locked up in my vehicle, in a lockbox in my vehicle. All right. So that's the only thing I can say, man. It's just don't store a gun in a vehicle, man. That's just how it happens. I don't know. I'm not a cop, so I can't tell you exactly how they do it. I just know that they do it. So anyway, guys, we're going to call it a night here. So everyone, thanks for joining me as usual. So we're exact a high point. It's in my keep. Let's say I only leave mine in the truck when I go to work. Truck is locked up. Yep, Jeep. All right, so I'm gonna be calling it a night, guys. So thanks for joining me as usual. Tune in for our next live video, which will be. I try to do all my live videos at Saturday is usually when I do them, and I do it at about 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. So like we did in that. So that's when I do these videos. So and I try to release a video every Monday, Wednesday, and then I do a live video on Saturday. All right. So thanks for joining with me, guys. So if you guys have any more questions and stuff like that, post them on the comment section of this video, and I will get back to it as soon as I can, all right? Have a good night, guys. And once again, it's our responsibility to take care of each other and protect each other, guys. Peace, and have a great night. Semper Fi.